was pretty good.
Yeah, Lee's gonna pantomime the whole game.
It's a
Do
mind.
I have to have a new handbook in order to do things with new handbook rules?
Not yet, Lee.
They're all in the application, and they're all in D&D Beyond.
Yeah.
Well, as long as
Download
you're
it.
building a character in this campaign, you don't have to worry about it because Ben's sharing it with you.
Hello.
Well,
It's a full
Hello.
clips of the
There
leader.
you go, Lee.
All right, we are live.
Yes.
We are
I
live.
hear you.
We hear you, Lee. We're all good. All right, so we are live. Welcome.
Lee, move your filter.
It's a video filter, not an audio filter.
Welcome. I am Benito, your humble DM. We are back. Sorry, last session we had made a decision that we're going to go forward to 2024 rules because this campaign is really almost at the halfway point, but not yet. So that means we have a long way to go. And to make that kind of happen, we were going to kind of go with what's current with things happening. And so we're going to use the new rules into 2024 as they are released. Right now, we only have really access to the 2024 Player's Handbook as a group. We do not yet have the DM's Guide, so we're still kind of waiting for Welshire to become usage with the Bastion rules as they present itself. But it will be a slow take. You're more than welcome to comment as you hear as you see us play. If you want to put out suggestions or make comments, if we're kind of like misinterpreting something out of the new rules, or we're kind of still. If I get stuck with old rules, it might be just because it's my comfort zone. We're not pure playing at that capacity. As you understand, rules are to be guidelines, so we're going to try to make sure the story is going forward. That's the most important thing for the old ways. So I am back with my cast. I will let them introduce themselves and the characters they're playing, starting with Mark.
And taking it off mute works a lot better. So I am Starlock, forensic wizard and investigator for the Blue Circle of Roses, here to help corroborate and assist the course of events as told by the citizens of Welshire.
All right, Matt.
I'm Matthew. I'm playing False the Doom. Recently, he has stepped down as a constable of the town, but he's currently the captain of the guard for the militia. Although right now, most of the militia is out with the other forces that have arrived to help defend the city. So currently, he's just monitoring the town as a guard and assisting with Ash and his church duties.
All right, Nate.
I am Nate. I play Ian Spire, the former Lazy Bard and current voice of the Raven Queen.
Ooh. Art.
I am Art. I am playing Ash the Next Caligo, High Priest of the local church. And no, I don't watch the Raven Queen.
Steph.
I'm Steph. I play Balin Cadell. Pretty much the black sheep of the family. Black seems to be my color. Yeah. That's about it.
All right, Jen.
I am Jen, and I am playing Lady Carowyn Cadell, cousin to Balin and daughter of the indisposed lord at this time.
Tyler.
I'm Tyler. I'm playing Karos Rono, the druid. I'd say I'm here for a long time, not a good time.
Nice. Jeremy.
But do you love us?
Jeremy, playing Yadro Erinki, the paladin Taylor.
All right. And Lewanika.
Hi, I'm Lee Wanika of Tabletop Journeys and the On the Right Path video vlog or video series on YouTube. And I am playing M. Chalet. I'm a member of the Welshire Foxes and friend to all who are not evil.
Ooh. Okay. All
We're
right.
gonna have a small friends list soon.
As I recall,
This is a
as
lot.
the
That list is shorter than you might think.
best.
And it changes constantly.
Yeah.
All right. So more or less, the town has gone under some shakeup. There's been a lot of personal feelings in a rift amongst our wonderful heroes. The Raven Queen has started to make an influence, as Jeremy has done well to keep things for his goddess going forward, and she seems to be getting power as 3 other of the party members have joined the Raven Queen in their own forms of their classes. And Carolyn's just trying to keep the town, defended, and we're still trying to figure out more of the Black Zodiac. And we've now come to find out that we think Ash is being hunted by the return of the Dreadlord, which is something still kind of we have to figure out, as the realm itself seems to be going into a nightmarish reality, and that could have drastic and dire effect for the town of Wellshire. So we've had a bit of rest. So just so we'll be actually more in character, since we took about a month off or so. We'll say a month has also gone by for our characters, so everyone has kind of like settled in. Things are kind of like, the town's defense has been in the hands of the Knights of Greyheim. They've kind of made like a picket out in the woods close to Breckenvale, as they're trying to deal with what Castian Crow is doing out there. And you guys haven't done research on the circle. You guys have kind of built up to town defenses. Kind of got you guys settled into your positions. I'll let you guys decide. Is there anything else you want to start adding into things, or searching anew, or want to go different places? Anything you want to do? You can speak up now, or collaborate together if you guys want to do that. Of how you wish to proceed.
I got a simple one. Is my armor done?
Your armor, sure.
Alright, that's a simple one.
How about the Minotaur horns we buried by the Raven Queen statue?
They are like, they look altered, but they don't seem to have yet any effect.
Quit unburning. Something might happen.
Yeah, put them back in the ground and
Okay.
go to recruit more Raven Queen followers. Try to get a little more power imbued.
Well, you will notice, Tyros, that there are definitely a murder of crows that has now become more inhabited in Wellshire.
A murder of ravens?
Raven, sorry.
Yeah, we don't do that crow stuff.
We don't do the crow shit.
Is a group of ravens also a murder? I feel like they have a smarter name.
I'm pretty sure it's also a murder.
It is probably Parliament of Ravens, because they're higher class.
Ooh. I was thinking maybe like a homicide of ravens.
No, I'm not going to give Ravens any class as a Steeler fan, so you can just end that right there.
Absolutely.
I second that.
I mean,
Not with these advocates. They're definitely on the bottom tier.
So these
A
guys
group
are
of ravens. A group of ravens is an unkindness.
What?
No way.
yeah.
A group of an unkindness of ravens.
That makes sense.
Fantastic. That's even better.
I kind of dig that, actually.
I need you to send me that dictionary, the description of the dictionary. I'm going to be sending it to a friend who's a Ravens fan.
Yeah. Though I will say, given some of the former Ravens players, a murder is probably
Touche.
Only one.
All right, touche. Let's not get off track though. Let's
We
stay
are
with
not
it.
a Baltimore of ravens. We're not that.
We're not that.
No.
All right, so we have checked a couple of our gifts. Anything else?
I would probably be just making sure I'm training and trying to see if there's anybody else who's willing to kind of pick up training. If we've had a month to train, obviously the Wellshire Foxes have been decimated over the course of the campaign so far.
Mm-hmm.
So if there's a month and there hasn't been great activity, I think it would be my responsibility to start up training.
Okay.
Yeah, and we would have definitely been recruiting more believers of the Raven Queen and her ability to protect the town. Also, that cloak from the beast that Tiro skinned,
Mm-hmm.
Splicer Beast.
the Displacer Beast, what did that turn out to become? Like, does it have any abilities, or?
It definitely seems it has raw properties, but you did burying it at the statue of the Raven Queen is. You don't think it's gonna do anything unless you want to do something with it.
Oh no, I'm not burying clothes. I'm a tailor. I'm not some person that plays in the dirt.
Do you wish to use something with it?
Yes.
Okay.
I wish to imbue it with some type of.
It's an official item. I'm gonna put it in the chat.
Yeah, but it's right now just the skin from a displacer.
Yeah.
It has not yet been created, and we would have to use the new creation rules, which will not be out until the DMG for items greater than mundane consumables.
Which is why we're using Ben's creation rules to get it done.
Today, yeah, because I don't
I
have
don't
the
care
DMG.
about the DMG.
We don't have the DMG yet. So, Jeremy, give me a. Let's do a. I'm going to give you 2 rolls. One will be a survival check at advantage, and then the other will also be a performance check at advantage. That's kind of your style or your art.
My style, my art.
All right.
$25 on my performance.
Ujira, you are indeed the tailor of Welshire. You are able to. You basically maintain the skull part, so the top. It doesn't have the bottom jaw. That's gonna act more like a clasp to the shoulder part. It doesn't. You don't have it going over the head. You've got it more like going over one of the shoulder aspects there. You've kind of let the arm parts and the legs be removed. You've gone more with an elegant style to the cloak. There's a lot more. You've added a lot of these fabrics inside with designs that are very hexagonal or whatever, but the pattern seems to change when your eye looks at it. It's pretty disorientating even with inside. And you've gotten the coat cleaned and sheened, and the cloak of displacement is now properly working as if you were to find that magical item.
Fantastic. I do want to find Tyros and tell him great job and show off what I made.
Okay.
Gorgeous. Just gorgeous. I knew that would be useful to you. Sorry I had to go running off to go get it, but I was worried it was going to get trampled or destroyed. And
Much more understandable now. Thank you, Tyros.
Oh, you won him over, Tyros, after all that time. You got in a lot of hot water for that.
That was hectic, but happy it turned out well. We'll see how the Minotaur horns turn out. I'm hopeful their Minotaur maze work knowledge will lead into some kind of guidance when blown.
Okay. Carolyn, is there anything you want the town to be doing? And Balin, if you want to add into this, you're the cousin. You two are. Feel free to collaborate if you wish.
The last thing, because I missed most of the last episode that I was in.
Slacker.
I thought I did. Well, it's not my fault. I had bad internet connection in Oregon. The last thing I have written down.
About changing character sheets.
Carolyn was busy taking a bath. God.
Taking a pop.
No, there's actually, I guess technically there's 2 episodes, because there's the one when I was in Oregon and I was able to listen in, and I had that long delay.
Yeah.
When I was from listening and talking, and then yes, I was at fair and arrived late. That one,
I'm
it
talking about
said I'm too tired.
Carolyn. I'm talking about Carolyn. Trying to explain why you weren't there. Stop ruining it.
Sorry. So no, I think right now she's there's been a lot of changes and shit that's been going on. So she's trying to, I think she's gonna just kind of stroll the town, be seen, observe the changes and the flavor of the town in the sense of how are people taking these changes.
Is she naked or does she have clothes on?
Nope, Lady Godiva, naked, bare ass is yeah.
That's the way to get attention.
Yeah.
No, she's obviously armed and armored and has the green sword with her, and she's observing, and like I said, she's trying to make herself available if people do want to come up and talk to her. She's not trying to be aloof or head and nose in the air. She is trying to be available.
Okay.
Is she traveling by herself?
I do want to add something to your thoughts. Make sure I can find it.
I'd recommend traveling with like Tulsa or some type of guard, at least a guard.
If she's out walking around, Ash would absolutely walk around with her.
So what? I'm gonna pull something up for you guys. I think you, again, being distracted because of your internet issues, I just want to put some things out in your consciousness. So right in front of your estate, if you can see right where my black arrow is, right down there, number 22, is a huge raven statue. I'm not really sure exactly how alert you were when you were here with that. And I'll let you know that the following of the Church of the Raven has significantly increased. It's now, since we're talking a month past time as well.
I do remember the statue appearing, but that's one of the things that's a relative change. So she wanted to try to, like I said, she wants to try to get the flavor of the feelings of the town and see how people are feeling about these kinds of changes.
Hey Ben, can you put that map in the chat so we can have it so I can update mine?
Sure. Basically, you are hearing great things with people. They feel like they have believed the arrival of the numerous ravens in the area is showing that they are protected. Although the wolves have gathered out in the forest, the ravens are seeing a sign as protection. There have been some stories that seem to play folklore that you are being cared for. It is a sign of it's like a good omen now to have the raven land in connection to your house and stuff. Give me an investigation roll, and I'll give you advantage because you are seeking to get a lot more information out of this.
Wow. I rolled double sevens, so I got 7.
7. Okay. Yeah. So for you, then, more or less, you're just getting the sense that just people seem to be pretty well on board. I mean, it's no one seems to be upset that the statue has been erected out in front of you. It obviously has not sent any. The regular face of the church have also not shown any dispute with it either. It seems like the Raven Queen has been integrated amongst the people's faith of the other following, which is Cross and I think Ra.
Cross, Ra, and Thoth.
Thoth, yes.
There's also altars to Tyr and Ares, but there's no one to.
Got it.
Specifically,
So yeah, so basically Ash is seen as I would kind of give a title as an All-Father. He's the highest ranking priest amongst your of all your faiths, and there doesn't seem to be any dispute to that.
All right. Does anybody approach her? Any of the
Yeah,
the citizens, if you will?
yeah. They bid you a good day. Amongst what you expect at a poor folk or middle class folk to a noble woman.
While she's out, I can't remember if there we do have like I almost wanted to say bazaar, but not a bazaar area, but like a market, right?
Yep.
She will make it a point to like every time that she's been out in town, and I feel like I've never said this before, but I'm gonna say it now. Every time she's out in town, she makes it a point to stop at a shop, and purchases one thing, whether she's hungry or not, and eats it. But she changes the shop each time, so she's not showing any favoritism.
Okay. Will do. Malin, do you want your network to be doing anything?
What I probably would be doing for like the last month would be kind of visiting my type of people. So like I would probably be visiting Marta once in a while, see how my favorite hag is doing.
Hag? She's just an old woman.
Well, I helped create her. I can say she's a hag.
Wow.
Damn.
Your relationships are always strained, Balin. Always strained.
Women hard.
And see, I always envisioned Marta as like the witch from Robin Hood Men in Tights. That's
Nice.
what I envisioned her as. But anyway.
See, I always thought of the old woman from the Princess Bride that was with the husband that's storming the castle.
Nice.
That's the one I always had in my head.
Gotcha.
They're good.
We'll
They're
try
kind
to
of
blend.
in the same
They're,
vein.
yeah, two sides, same coin.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. So anyway, just kind of talking with her, making sure I stay on her good side. Every once in a while, like running into my little friend Camilla, seeing how she is, giving her daily quota of candy for information.
Okay.
But then probably just spending, if not with Carowin, me and Larkin spending time at Mr. Farrington's, just gathering info or.
Is that what they call it these days?
Yeah.
How?
That's what we call it.
Speaking of, Larkin and Magdalene would suggest that they travel back to Greyheim and see if they can get more of your people, and also maybe some more scout people, because there aren't really anybody to recruit right now at Wellshire. So if we're going to replenish foxes, we need to get some hunters and trappers out near Greyheim. Maybe they can entice some people to come down, because really the city is at its limit of the resources that you can in recruiting bodies.
Right.
Along those lines, knowing that I can't get anybody up to the level of skill we need, I will still work with the local people. Obviously, there are people who might hunt, but they're not going to be hunting, they're not going to be military style. But basically, so that if things go awry and primary and secondary defenses go, people at least have a shot to defend themselves. Yeah. And doing so at a distance seems like a good way to do it. So training slightly older kids just in the use of short bows and stuff like that.
Before you do that, you might want to talk to Carowin. That would be suggested by your remaining foxes before you give the attitude that you want to do almost like a marshaling of the regular citizens, because otherwise because you're going to put a sense of military fear into them.
Well, okay, I'll talk to Carolyn about it.
Okay, I'm going to finish up with Balin then. So Balin, what do you think of their suggestion?
Sorry, I just saw the picture in the chat and I lost my train of thought. What?
So Magdalene and Larkin are suggesting they can maybe get some more of their people. They may be able to get a few people more societies down here. And they need, if you're going to help Mshali out, they might be able to get some actual people who could join the Foxes.
I would suggest that's a good idea, because I can only talk my way out of so much stuff. So.
Okay.
it would help to have others, and Magdalene just don't die because I think Ian is, he really likes you.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll bring him back a gift.
You should. Maybe something red, lacy, I don't know. Just throwing it out there.
She thinks about that for a bit, but I think she knows what you're talking about.
Hey, I'm just trying to help my friends in a time of need, alright? So,
Okay.
well,
All right.
I think she just made Ian turn red.
Oh yeah, he's going right now.
I mean, damn, I'm wearing a red shirt and I'm seeing the reflection, my man.
It's matching. It's matching.
mind you, Balin would, after she said that, she would look over at Larkin and be like, "What's up?"
He goes, "I'll see if there's a second."
You do that.
All right, so the two of them are going to go off mission, so you'll now know them. You might want to make a note that Magdalene and Larkin are more or less trying to find some extra bodies for you in that regard. All right, so I want to move around to the faith. Ash, you've got your armor. You've got the people are pretty settled in the beliefs. Anything particular that you wish to do more of or focus on?
There's always stuff to do. Always lots of stuff to do.
Okay.
The little ones. I want to tell the other priests in our church that even though we don't follow Goddess of the Mist. I'm drawing a blank.
Ezra?
Ezra. No, it's not Ezra, is it?
Oh wait, Nyx. Sorry.
Nyx. Even though we don't follow Nyx, that I know there's a small shrine in the town, and I want to make sure we keep it maintained.
Okay.
Just make sure it doesn't go into disarray. After seeing the stuff with my mother, I want to make sure that God is honored without straight worship from us, you know?
Okay.
Because there's no priests.
Yep.
Are the soldiers from Greyheim, are they coming to my church, or am I losing a lot of them to the Raven Queen?
You haven't really seen them. Reports that you're getting is mostly the Greyheim militia is west, fighting and tracking Breckenhale forces.
Okay, so they're all field?
Yeah, and you'll get reports that they have actively been engaged with Breckenvale, so there is definitely the war is on.
Alright, so we are full-on conflict with Breckenvale right now.
Yes, and it seems like that force is there. Your town militia is more or less stationed in a horseshoe to the left side, north, south, and west of your town of Welshire in its defense. Remember, you built a new watchtower.
Yep.
That's kind of being maintained with most of your troops there. I will say you've probably seen maybe a tenth of the town's militia following the Raven Queen. The rest have stayed pretty loyal to their faith and cross.
Okay, I am okay with that. I'm not gonna squash the Raven Queen's worship. I don't think I could anyway, but I don't. Yeah. I assume we handle any serious injuries that come back from the front and stuff like that. Then.
Yep.
All right. I do at some point. So after that last game we had, I think everybody would probably notice that Ash is a little withdrawn. Obviously, if anybody asks him, he's like, "I'm just trying to figure stuff out." And then after that, I would do something a little unusual one night, and I would actually just go to the tavern to hear from the people on the common ground. It's something I probably did a lot before and haven't done recently.
Mm-hmm.
And feel questions they may have, and try and do my own form of reassurance.
Give me an investigation roll, straight.
Investigation. Let's find my character sheet. One.
You're just not you're having a hard time really feeling people with all the weight of supposedly this dreadlord tracking you. Everyone seems all right. They're in good spirits. The town seems, in all essence, normal, even though you know things are happening. It doesn't seem like it's affecting the town.
Okay. I guess since I rolled a 1, I can't do anything about that. So everybody knows I'm now wearing full plate that I made myself. Big time game effect, but other than that, I'm kind of proud that I made my own armor.
Okay.
That's all I got right now, I guess.
I'll take some of that too.
All right.
If the soldiers are, yeah, you made your own cloak, which is cool. Actually, at some point, I would actually ask you, Jerome, about it.
I mean, I'm gonna at some point ask Ash about his armor.
Well, I mean, trade crafting stories. I mean, I'm the son of the blacksmith. You're the son of the tailor. I mean, it's sort of obvious what we did, but you know, just out of politeness. But I do have one question for the group in general at any point that it's a thought, and that's that at one point someone had said this circle was some kind of thing to affect the Dreadlord. And then the Dreadlord changed, and now the sigils are a waxy fill in the holes. I'm wondering, it feels like there should be some significance, but I don't know what it would be. And Ben, we don't know who the Dreadlord was before, right?
I'll let Starlock roll a history check.
What sort of test?
History.
That is a 25.
Starlock knows it is Azarian Greystoke, and he knows before that it was Silk. So he knows the two only real recorded Dreadlords. And again, he is pretty confident that Azarian has always been the Dreadlord, but he's been detached somehow. And Ellannis might have been dormant for a while. He does not exactly know how that might have happened, but that would be your own. That is your timeline, logical timeline.
All right, so that sort of changes the question a little bit then, but still leaves a question. If things were dormant and this ritual isn't completed and Azarian is back, where does that leave this ritual? Is it still a threat? Are things still going to come? Is it still active?
I would say that it's always going to be a threat as long as it's not dealt with, and that it may be there are 12 sigils, and we have dealt with 4 of them, so this might be some sort of rhythmic beat in the passage of it. We've completed 1/3. You've told me that the timing on these is irregular, so we can't take that as any kind of indication for the rhythm of it. I think we need to continue to be vigilant.
Oh, I don't disagree. I'm just wondering if the threats have changed, if maybe this is completed, maybe their goal was to bring Azarian back actively, and now something else has done that beforehand? Because this is before.
Maybe the next 4 symbols, Ravnos, Leviathan, War Maiden, and Maelstrom, all seem to indicate a step up, a tier up in threat level than the first 4, being Basilisk, Manticore, Serpent, and Beast. Those seem to be more creature level things, wilderness level things, but the second four are larger civilization type things, larger society type things, and then the last four, Sword, Tyrant, Tempest, and Fallen Demon, may be another tier up, even more significant, being larger governmental or war type creatures, threats.
That all makes sense. I mean, I just figure the blood has hardened. It's not the same as it was before. And Azarian is active. I don't know where that leads. I'm not sure. Nothing else has changed in the circle, right? None of the writings.
The writings haven't changed. It's just Yujiro and Starlock discovered that the sigils encrusted.
Right.
Like, that was about it, but nothing else has changed. Nothing of the writing markings or anything like that are different. Nothing's been realigned. It hasn't changed any type of format. It's just been quiet for a while.
All right. It's just worth thinking about to see if there are any clues that the ritual is going to do something different or lead to a different outcome.
Maybe Azarian coming to this realm paused it.
That's sort of what I was thinking. Maybe it's a pause or reset. Maybe it'll change the direction. The people who cast it for a certain reason, and this seems to be. I mean, who knows? Maybe the fourth sigil was the one that triggered bringing Azarian back, but that doesn't seem right. It doesn't seem like the two things lined up directly. There were days between.
In the history of the Dreadlords, is there a history of like Silk or Zarian being less active, having periods of rest or dormancy, and then maybe an upstart king or heroes that have declared war on Dreadlords, driven the Dreadlords back into more of an active kind of villainy, for lack of a better word?
Give me a history check.
$24.
You could say sort of a way, yes. It's more or less difficult because the fog, the mist, has always been more of a, I would say, an active part of the Dread Realm. So Nick seems to be, / Ezra from the past, would have been the more dominant of deities doing an effect in the realm of Ellannis. But the Dreadlord have definitely clashed with the great heroes of history. And they've had mixed successes here and there. Azarian, though, over his predecessor, though, has probably been more active to the dominance of the land and actually having an effect to the land, its way it's ruled, who's in control of certain areas and stuff like that, compared to Silk. In her heyday, it was more of destruction in certain locations and always using of undead, where Azarian seems to be very insertive, very directly going after the heroes, trying to push his way into their politics, their way of livings, their families and things of that sort like that. And that's why you have places like Azarian Castle in the north, and those effective changes. And then again, it seems like when he had the pinnacle of being named master of his land as an emperor, then it got real quiet for the longest of times. Like centuries now have gone by. with no one ever knowing anything where he was.
Have the mists gotten more pronounced since we've heard the Zarian's return?
For you in Welshire, you see in Welshire, you do not see anything of that has would say that has happened. The only thing you will know is that Tyros has told you that the increase of wolves has increased. The other animals have decreased, and also you're all seeing a ton of ravens around. So you see 2 new animals. They're increasing in numbers and in areas. The ravens are more in town and lurking about, where the wolves have been seen about a mile and getting close to the borders of your farms. But you're not seeing games being difficult reported by the foxes. You're not seeing anything weather change wise for you guys.
The quiet before the storm.
It seems in some ways that maybe the rules have changed, and this is some new edition of darkness that we need to grapple with.
Would Tyros have any understanding or knowledge of why the wolves are gathering?
I did try speaking to them, and they were pretty hostile. Didn't really get a lot of information from them.
You got enough, though.
What was it that they said? It's been a while.
They're looking for someone in particular in your town. Someone who's blood tied to the king himself, Azarian.
That was it. Adding that to my notes now.
I believe the group has your speculation because of another visitor, but you guys have not quite yet determined, although you did do some investigation at that person's home.
You know what we haven't done? We haven't gone and talked to the Fae that are still here. If such a huge change has shifted, they must be affected by it. They must be feeling something.
They have not.
I mean,
They have not panicked or done anything differently. They're still in effect.
Maybe we should talk to them about the name Azarian. Can we get the girl Fae to come back?
you mean Diana?
Yeah.
I don't think that's a great idea.
Why not? She might know something.
Think about the last names.
That's what I'm looking for.
Yeah, I think we should let that dog lie for now.
So the dogs outside are not looking for her because she doesn't exist here. So bringing her here for a moment shouldn't cause any problems, but it should give us information. Because if you're the person they're looking for, we do need to know that, because you're not leaving.
We know everything we need to know. Confirming any suspicions will only lead to trouble at this point. Leaving it a mystery makes it easier to deal with right now. In a lot of ways, that name carries a lot of weight, more than just with the Dreadlord. Confirmations of that name existing in the realm again are going to have reverberations in the political arena as well, and we are not equipped to deal with that.
But if we are the only ones who know, that's a good thing, because at least we know.
I am asking you to leave this one in my hands for now.
That's fine. I don't like dealing with the pointy-eared people anyway.
You don't like dealing with what?
The pointy-eared people anyway.
Okay. We haven't had the other two come back from the Fey realm, right?
No.
Okay. They could have been gone a day in their world, and 6 months in ours. Anybody else have any thoughts on any of that?
I'm not present, so
Did we finish
No.
building?
At some point, we're all present for things like this. This is generally me talking to everybody, and I'm sure everybody talking with everybody else. It's not like we're having one sit down. We've got a month to have these conversations.
okay. So this is general conversation over time.
General
that type of
conversation,
thing.
yeah.
Okay. Mshale won't know.
I completely agree, milady. Ignorance is not bliss.
Mshale won't know a lot of the details, but he just feels that he just feels it'd be easier, or I don't know politics, but if you're talking about people who used to be in charge and have that name, then we're talking about upsetting the nature of where we are and who's in charge. Adding more people and more names could make things more difficult. We're already trying to come back from challenges to the Caudels for leadership. It doesn't make sense to make that more unclear until we're more secure.
And I wasn't talking about ignorance. I was talking about confirmation. Just so your lady knows. Like he said, some things just need not be said. I think that's the important thing. It's not ignorance.
Did we ever finish the guard towers?
There's one guard tower. Yes.
Okay. We should work on getting some more set up, I suppose.
Right down here, 21 is one of the guard areas now set up.
Okay.
I think we should
We ever
also...
get Tulsa back, in his position, so he can be doing what he does best?
The constable thing?
Yeah.
He hasn't requested to that position again.
He's been helping me at the church. Matt, are you...
Is he still in charge of the guard, though? I might as well just ask him when I meet him.
He stepped down as the constable because he wasn't willing to take orders from a magic murderer. But as far as captain of the guard, he still intends to be captain of the guard and has been acting in that capacity. He hasn't been relieved of that yet, that he's aware of.
Okay, fantastic. I'm gonna meet up with Tulsa then.
So you're still captain of the guard, but you're not the constable?
So more or less, he can't. He's choosing not to actively search and investigate like a police officer, so to speak, but more in the traditional guard sense. He's still in play. Wherever you post him, type of thing. He's more liable to stay.
So, Tulsa, how does the guard work right now? Do they change in shifts, or do they just patrol the town?
Well, we don't have that many guardsmen. Some of them went off with the captain of the guard, I don't know his actual title, the guy that came from Greyheim.
Oh, the wizard, Starlock.
No.
Simeon.
Yeah, but I don't know his title that I would use for him.
Oh, you're talking about Lady Carowin's, what is he, her brother or uncle or cousin?
Cousin.
Cousin.
No, the Greyhound guy that came in and with all the soldiers and basically took some of our militia with him too.
The one Matt called in.
Sir Murray, Knight of the White Elk.
Yeah, but I don't know his military rank, unless it's knight qualifies. But anyways, as far as it goes, we only have 20 or so. We're spread pretty thin on the perimeters and at the guard posts, but we're keeping alert. I can't keep them working all shifts because they're just mostly volunteers. But we're trying to keep guards all day and all night.
How are we doing on that, and what could we do to help with that?
We can press more civilians into militia, but that would be something Lady Karen would have to kind of figure out how to do.
Alright, because I'm concerned about this increase of predators, namely wolves, on the borders of the town.
Oh, is your goddess aware of your doubts?
I think she's pretty much aware of everything I think, more or less.
Well, I thought you were like talking about her protecting the village, and that's why all these ravens are around. I mean, I haven't talked to any of the ravens yet, so I don't know if they're able guards or watchouts or whatnot. But
I think they play more in the watch capacity. She is gathering strength, so I'd say active protection. We're not quite there yet. Most gods don't actively protect, but she is definitely gathering strength. So protection is getting stronger. But
well,
obviously, until then, we need to.
I'm not saying this. I'm not saying this in a disrespectful intent, because I really don't have any. Not particularly faithful in any particular god, although I do what I can for Thoth, because Michelle is one of his priestesses. But I understand we have all these ravens around, and they're here for protection. How are they going to help me protect the town? Should I expect that they'll come and deliver a message, or what's the process of their protection?
That's a great question. To those who are non-believers, how would the message be relayed?
Right. I mean, we have all these ravens here, and they're here for our protection. Get that. So, what are they gonna do to, you know what I mean? Like, how am I gonna understand? Are they, if something comes into an area, they see it, they're gonna come tell me, or are they gonna come tell you, or you?
Just one moment. I believe.
I haven't had
I believe Milady
reason
is
to talk. I'm not sure. what
working
that
on
might be.
speaking to me, but I don't think she types very quickly.
I had to think a bit too, okay? Damn it.
I mean,
Well,
I've never been.
if you meant to send something to me, Ben,
so-
you didn't.
Oh, did I not? Oh, I just pulled one of Lee's.
Wow, what's this stuff, this insight I'm reading right... Oh, wait, I'm not in front of my computer.
I did. Damn it, Lee, you're contagious.
One moment, though, so I'm getting the 50K modem sound. that's an interesting way to put it, milady. So, Tulsa, she's making it known to me that obviously champions are being elevated amongst the town, and by being a champion and being elevated, you are more in touch with the Raven Queen, and therefore can more easily be notified, signaled, blessed. You're not, as you said, quite the faithful type, so it might be a little more difficult for a direct warning to you. So I'd say that the warning will probably go to one of the current elevated, which would be myself or Tyros or Balin. But as she gains power, I think it'll be far more easier to relate even signals and warnings to those who are less faithful or not faithful.
Okay, so the answer is the Ravens aren't really going to do much at all in that regards. I can't expect them to be like circling a big flock, circling a particular area, or.
I think a signal like that you could expect to see. Ravens are very intelligent birds.
As I understand they can even like copy words and stuff on occasion. So I thought maybe they would come talk in some way, but that doesn't sound like it's the case. So I won't try to infer too much from a raven passing overhead or something.
I think that makes sense for now. Should we put up more guard towers, or do we not have the guard to man them?
I think the key is we don't have the manpower to build them. It took a military unit to build them.
I mean, we still have a military unit, do we not?
No, that military unit is now outside of town. Am I right, Ben?
Yes.
Yeah. So they built the watchtower and then went out to fight. We just don't have the
So we could again, Lady Carolyn could impress upon the civilian citizens of the town that she needs help with some of the guard stuff. But then that comes into paying for their assistance and supplies and materials, and we could probably erect another guard tower. I would think a guard tower on all four corners of the town would be pretty handy, but we're still, a young town, so to speak. We've only got 2 generations here of people, so we're not an established, city or anything yet.
Also worth considering building 2 would be some kind of keep fortification in case something assaults the town. The civilians have someplace to go.
I already have some place to go. The church.
It's not a keep.
Closest we come to a keep is the Lord's Manor House, but I mean, we don't have permission from Greyheim to fortify.
We don't have to have permission from Greyheim to make a place to protect civilians. I'm not talking a massive crenellated fortress. It could be as simple as wooden palisades that could be defended.
We talked about a wall at one point, but that was kind of back when we had less resources, less people.
So
Town wasn't big, not as many buildings to build around.
Again, manpower and resources are short. And I'm not disagreeing with the watchtowers either. That would be great as well.
So one thing at a time, obviously.
Yeah.
Should we work on a fortification in the center of the town? Now, mind you, the things what do we have in the center of the town right now? We have the manor, we have the church, and we have, I think, another church to
You
the
have a
Raven
shrine.
Queen.
You have a shrine to the Raven Queen, and it doesn't need to be in the center of town. It actually probably should be closer to where the civilians would all be able to get to, near one of the farms, near the edge of town.
Wouldn't all the civilians be able to get to the center of town easiest? Because if civilians are working out in the farms and civilians are in town, what is easiest to get to? The center of town.
We also shouldn't put it right next to the manor house, which is the target of these beasts. So,
And insofar as your church goes, I apologize, but I can't give you Lord Cadell's house, and that's the only house that meets the requirements you gave me for finding a building for your church. So, if you, well, I can't even suggest asking Lady Cadell for her father's house. So that's just not something I can do.
and again, that's another thing you could build. You could take a small building. You don't need anything as grand as our church if you want a actual church versus a shrine. For
No,
now, you're
I
following
didn't actually need a church, which is what I said last time. But I thought that you wanted us to have a church for some reason.
Who did?
I thought you did.
I never told anyone that. I just wanted to get the Raven Queen out of my church, and she got out when she got a shrine, so I'm good with it. That was a personal thing that I never told anyone.
Got it.
Nope, that was me trying to figure a way to give you a place to go, and then Tiro solved it for me. Never would have told no one about that. She's helping. I don't trust her, but she's helping.
So where is Lady Carolyn right now?
Because I had to run off and go take care of things, I assumed that she was not part of this conversation, which is why I've kept my mouth shut when I came back. Where are you guys?
We are all over the town over a month's period. So.
Well, I mean, are you asking to see if she's going to get involved in this conversation, or?
No. So I would go find her, because obviously conversation would need to be had.
And I'm certain anytime I was talking to her, I would have expressed the desire also to have another watchtower and to have a palisade, but not like pressuring you, like, hey, these are things we should think about at some point.
Well, so having listened to some of that, it reminded me, Ben. I know she wanted to make the one watchtower, and I know we were working at one point on a palisade. The last time that I personally, Jennifer, recall having a conversation between Carowin and Thulsa when he got rudely paid by my cousin, my cousin had grabbed me to go look at defenses. So what was the nature of those defenses that he wanted me to inspect?
That tower is one of them, the one right here, 21, down on the map board there, and
right.
They have put like a couple of sentry posts out on the western road to Breckenvale. Like everything that you're getting is from Sir Murray to Simeon. Is they're trying to deal with what's going on that road.
And the western road on this map is kind of south or down.
Yeah, down.
You need to put cardinal directions on this. And that's why the watchtower's down there.
Yes.
Because I believe that I had expressed or had wanted the desire of having north-south, especially towards, a tower up there between those fields near the wood. And then on the north-south road through the town, wanting to have towers there as well, or something along those those lines.
Yeah, I mean, everything you guys really, I mean, I'll try to be realistic. A lot of things going on. You guys everyone's trying to put up as much as possible. It's just
Right.
really like we've talked about. You don't have any extra resources coming in. You don't really have a lumberjack resource of people. The town has pretty much been around. It's new, so everything is just going to be super, super slow. And your soldiers are all the ones that were the extra after they made the watchtower had gone off and do more military aspects of activity. So you're really kind of stuck with your guards. And if you want to drop your guard, which you can now start using most of your force. Talking about 80% of the force into building. So if you want to gamble with time and not be as active, you can do that. But Simeon would warn this because you have infiltrators. Like there was still some policing going on, unless you're absolutely sure that Sir Murray has gotten all your spies. But if you're going to bring influx of people in, you're sort of dissuading any watching going on because your entire patrol guard would be building in the city. So you're just missing the right force of people at this moment to kind of do everything that normally would happen in a proper town, but because of Wellshire's newness overall and the fact that you've lost some aspects of things, makes it difficult. And I'm going to give me a history check. I'm going to give it to you at advantage because you are a noble lady and you did go to school.
That'll be a 16.
Okay. One of the things you can do at this position is a lot of stuff you can realize is kind of going on your plate. And one of the things that you've noticed with Simeon is trying to take a lot of the patrolling, the guarding, and the military defending of the town more on his responsibility. But that is something you can think about in a town. You can end up making positions that would maybe help you gravitate other people to help you fulfill roles that you basically need. So if Mshale was, let's say, in charge of the fortress aspect of building instead of scout duty, him and his people could end up being more of that role. Or you could use your cousin, who seems to have outside influences, to continue to maybe do more with certain of her people. They could be gatherers of some sort or in position to help you fulfill other roles that you basically need. You can sort of like start making advisors around you so you have a court. And that will help you deviate what your needs are. That way when you come to your table for planning the city's position, more people can report to you fully of like, yes, we're getting all the food that you need. We're doing well with crops. We're doing well with the cattle and the sheep and the pigs. We're making arrows, or we're short on arrows. The blacksmith is overwhelmed. You'd get a lot more of those reports figured out, and where you could kind of reaching out, and maybe Simeon can then take that to the Lord of Greyheim to see if they can give you more than those people instead of soldiers.
So I honestly, though, I think during the course of if we were down for a month, that is one of the things that Carowin probably would have done, is created her own council and a town council, so that the farmers could choose a spokesperson and so on and so forth, so that they would have a voice at the table, not just our core group, but so that complaints could be aired, or like you just said, like or needs.
Yep. But I will say, Simeon would warn one thing about your willingness to involve the town. He understands that you want to be diplomatic and involving with them.
But you shouldn't.
But you should. The Raven Queen has
It's
outspoken.
not so much that.
Hold on. What he wants
Go
to
ahead.
basically say is, if you're trying to make perfect decisions on their safety, you put a chance of putting a chaos element into it that they may not adhere to because they have ignorance to the full information, such as the full capacity of the ritual circle. So if you discover something in there, they may not give like they may not follow along or give counsel that would be as effective as your own group, who are very personal to the matter, is what Simeon would advise to you. If that makes sense.
So my intent would be I would have, like, essentially two different meetings. One with town council, if you will, so that I can get the reports on, like you said, the blacksmith needs more iron ore, or or things of that nature. And then I could, and then that could be brought to the table of the personal council.
But Ash is the blacksmith, or he is related to. Ash would cover the blacksmith. Tyros would cover the farmers. Dulce would cover the guard. Ian would cover the bars. I could cover the market.
Oh, I'm sure Ian would cover the bars.
Balin would cover information. I don't know if Starlock would become part of this council or not.
Yeah.
And obviously M'Challa would cover maybe fortifications and fortress.
I think
Good point.
This would just also go to the point where Simeon would follow along with what you're saying. Is like, it's not the fact that he doesn't want you to feel like he doesn't care about their expression of their needs. Like, they can still do that to your proper group. What you've got to realize is when you entitle someone a title, sometimes that title becomes a position of conflict to your end means. You know what I mean? Like, that's how rebellions are started, revolts or mobs to picket your decision, because they don't understand that something could happen. He doesn't know exactly what that could happen. He's just saying, if you were to name Farmer Joe over there on the side, that he's going to take care of all the crops and stuff, he could be like, well, if you're not giving me my voice, I'm going to tell all the farmers not to deliver food to the troops.
No, I get it.
And that's what Simeon's trying to make sure that it doesn't happen. Like, after this whole thing is finished, he's like all for, like, bring him up to a council and support and have the town grow to a city. He's all for that. But you might want to be careful if you're putting that many voices in the stew when you're trying to deal with whatever Breckenville's doing with a war. We're still trying to figure out how intense that is. And you have the darkest riddle in here that you have a private investigator or mystic investigator looking at that hasn't quite given us all the answers. And from all due, he would have some information about this Dread Lord coming back, which is still new to him, but that could be dire.
No, I'm getting what you're saying. So, okay. With that being said, then, Jeremy, to answer the question, the question is, where's Carolyn right now? I would assume that every night we would be gathering. So, depending on when you wanted to see her.
Think about it this way: unless we're meeting in a capacity of a gathering, the only time Yajiro ever wants to talk to Carowin is when Ash is not around.
And Ash likes to be around Carowin, so that makes it rough on me.
But you're not with her 24/7, though.
Correct. You're not with her 24/7. So.
Right.
She does take long baths.
She does. And Yajiro knows this, so we just barge in. Alright, we need to talk.
I thought we got rid of that guy.
We got rid of the guy, not the bathtub.
Apparently. You would know that you could catch her when she does have her evening before she goes to bed. She does always go in and read, or to her parents, or talk to her dad about goings on and things of that nature.
Also, I'm the only person that tailors your garb, so I wouldn't have Ash in the room while I'm doing that. Boom.
I wasn't saying it's impossible. Not even a little bit.
I kind of think it's kind of funny that Yujiro doesn't give Carowin privacy in her bath. I think it makes it more amusing.
Would she know where he is with that new cloak?
He's just building that trusting relationship for later on.
Well, he's the tailor. He's poked and probed her and seen her more or less undressed. So that's why I think it's more funny that he just doesn't. we're all seeing it this way, but the two of them don't see it that way, and it's just more of the inconvenience of he wants to speak his mind thing. I think it's more where I'm reading into it, but
Well, he has to be careful with his needles, or she won't find it satisfying.
whoa,
That is true.
this is how rumors start.
I'm not the only chaotic neutral on here.
Feel good, Steph. Feel good. Your chaos is
Yatro
regardless
only
spread.
likes to do a great job. Doesn't even settle for good.
Okay, so let's assume you two find each other in the bath.
Not in the bathroom.
She just
That
finished
time's
her
my
bath.
time.
Yeah, Jiro's breaking in.
Balin unlocked the door for me. Just
Yeah. I can just see it now that like he passes Balin and is like, hey, do you know where she is? Yeah, she's in the bath. And then I just walk away.
With a wink and a nod.
The scene is just adding more and more. What I'm envisioning the poor Carowin suffering to this.
Alright, so
He
I'm
wants to get to the door like, oh
I'm
man,
catching
the door is
Carolyn
locked.
back.
Hold on a sec.
Yep.
Alright, there you go.
We've established this.
He just pulls a Kramer. He just kicks it open and goes, "Hey, I got a question."
No, I love that Steph has unlocked the door for him. It just makes it hilarious.
Yeah, so when I approach the door, I give a knock, and then I grab the handle and turn it, and it's already open. It's unlocked, so clearly she's not doing anything special in there. How would I know better? I'm
Okay,
gonna open it.
Okay, Tasselhoff Burfoot.
All right, ask away.
So
What's your
you've knocked
question?
and you've entered.
Yep.
You do realize, Lee, that Jeremy's picture is complete tender smile all the time.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, so glad. It's so lucky. My passive perception is not very high.
I did want to play a Kender in the Soulstrom campaign. I just changed my mind not to.
I'm choosing that he's lucky, and she is draining the bath and is just pulling the robe up and over her shoulders.
That's fair.
That doesn't sound lucky to me, but we'll go with it.
And it's a ratty robe from back when she was in the military,
Ooh,
like her comfy robe.
comfy
With
room.
holes everywhere?
No,
Yep.
just,
Yep.
not holes.
It's quite holy.
It's like a terry cloth ratty, the comfy old robe, and she's just pulling it up, and she's like, Jiro!
Mind you, she's putting all of her rubber ducks from the bath like up
Right?
on her wall.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah, ducks. That's what we're calling them.
Yeah. I didn't say what kind of ducks. It's just rubber ducks.
So, as I walk in and I see that you're pulling the ratty, nasty robe over yourself, that will be the first thing that catches my eye. What is that hideous thing you're wearing?
The fuck?
And there goes that relationship.
Or the start of it.
Why are you here?
Well, I need to speak with you, and the door was clearly unlocked, so you weren't doing anything I didn't think. I did pass Balin on my way, though.
Ah, clearly it was unlocked. Got it. Yes? What can I help you with?
Well, first we've got to get you out of that room. It's
You're not
awful,
getting, no.
and I need to take care of it now. It's killing my eyes.
She looks down. She looks at him. Touch this in this moment, and you will regret it.
How about I start working on it while we're speaking? You can even keep it on you. I don't need it to come off because I'm used to doing your garb while it's on you.
And usually I'm in underclothes.
But you don't need them. You're fine.
What do you need, Yujiro? She's
So,
belting and
couple
tying,
things.
like, all the way up to her neck.
So, as you've seen for the town, we now have a single guard tower and we're trying to improve our defenses. The Raven Queen is growing in power, so she's getting to a level where she can also provide assistance. I'm sure you've noticed more ravens about that are helping to keep an eye on things, if you would. Something that has alarmed me, though, is Tyros's run-in with the wolves on the outside of town, and the abundance of them, and the fact that they're looking for someone specific in our town.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure you've spoken with Ash, and we do have the thought that it could potentially be Ash that they're looking for.
The thought had crossed my mind, yes.
I would agree, my lady. I would think that she'd be more accustomed to men seeing her naked, too. But, I don't really know how the mercenary company went for her. Oh, sorry. I got sidetracked.
You were
Now-
saying?
Something that I believe would really help, my lady, is if you would reconsider taking up faith in the Raven Queen, which would improve her power, especially you being a noble, and would improve her aid to us in defending the town. Just something to consider. My other thought, I believe you had mentioned perhaps some type of bell or an ability to alarm the town that maybe the ravens would be able to activate themselves.
Well, my thought had been a small bell that they could activate themselves for the guards to alert them in a direction. I don't know that we can. I mean, they're Jaro, they're birds.
They are intelligent, very large birds.
Granted, but I mean,
With divine presence.
okay. I mean, if we're gonna have like we have the church bell.
We're talking like as intelligent or more intelligent than Tyros.
That was hurtful.
He's not here.
I noticed you're not disputing it, even though it hurt.
And Charlie's not there either. Lee Wanika said that was hurtful.
Somehow the hairs on a lot of people's necks stand up straight.
So, I mean, at this point, what I'm trying to get to, I guess, is that at this point, we've already got the townsfolk.
Losing faith in us? Perhaps.
Yeah, I hope you're talking to her and not me. What I'm trying to say is that they're already trained that if the bell tower goes off in the church to take cover,
But
I don't want to
the
present
bell
something.
tower is quite large, is it not?
It is.
So we can't really use the ravens to activate that.
My point. Exactly. So, would it not be more... Wouldn't it be better if we had smaller bells at key points for the guards, for the people in the watchtower, for the sentries, to at least know a direction that if they're unaware of danger approaching, that then, like, for instance, wolves, hunting animals, that this way that
Mind you,
those
while you're
people-
talking, I am tugging at your robe, hemming
And
things.
that's part of why she's kind of like talking the way she is. Because you're now squatting down on her ankles and she does not like this.
It's okay, I can see flesh. We're good.
I just like my armor. Anyway. Anyway, what I'm trying to say is, wouldn't it be better for the ravens to alert somebody
Smaller
from-
groups, smaller areas.
Correct. somebody can do
that's
something
actually a
about
good
it.
idea. And we could probably post up smaller bell posts in more areas more quickly, I would think. They would take less manpower to put up.
This is true. The only thing that I'm concerned with is what we would use for bells, because it's not like we've got those hanging around.
So, Lady Balin has pledged her loyalty to the Raven Queen. She does have faith in the Raven Queen, and Lady Balin is phenomenal at gathering information and intel. And now she'll be even better. She'll have the aid of the Raven Queen to do so. The Raven Queen is concerned that sound will just add more fear to the town, and she believes that faith can help give you what you're looking for, a way of alarming those without making them scared.
Okay, what do you have any? Does she have any suggestions?
Well, I can start with, as I said, just you being faithful and believing in her is quite powerful for her. As
Ow!
far as
You know that you stab me one more time, I'm gonna kick you right in the.
it's just a prick.
One prick too many.
A tiny little.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to mute myself now.
If
We
we
all
allowed,
click the mute button.
if we did allow the manor, House Cadell, your house, to be a haven for the Raven Queen, that would produce quite the barrier of protection for the town. And it's already a place that we have to monitor constantly anyway.
True, but as others have mentioned, I am concerned with putting the populace in the same place as where our enemy, whatever form.
I'm not talking about making House Cadell a gathering position.
Okay.
I'm talking about making House Cadell I don't like the word church. Ash uses the word church. But the home for the Raven Queen. Home base, if you would, for our town.
But, okay. How big of a structure are you talking about?
I'm not even sure we have to add a structure on to the manor. I think you having faith in the Raven Queen and pledging that your home at House Cadell would be the Raven Queen's home. Noble blood bonded with heavens of the divine, and thy protection will be made, as the lady would say. Exactly as Balin did. Except you have even more power and pull in this town. This town is yours.
And how... So are you saying that the manor would have protection, or are you saying the town as a whole?
The
And
town.
our...
Ian, you don't know why, but you were just kind of like strolling, and you decided to go to the estate house. You found your way inside, and you heard conversation going on in the bathroom.
the bathing room adjacent to my bedroom.
So somehow you found yourself in her bedroom.
I guess I'll just walk in if it's unlocked.
I didn't close the door after me. I
Oh,
apologize.
so it's still open.
Mind you, Balin looks out the hallway and just be like, you know what? Maybe she doesn't need my help with dice. All right.
Stephanie, you get inspiration.
Well, I guess I don't open the door. I just kind of walk down the hall and see the door open and hear him talking.
And you go in.
Yeah, pop my head in. Why not?
Pop your head into what? It's only room enough for one here.
I'll just be in the doorway. It's fine. I'll just watch.
I'm going to ask if I notice him.
He's not subtle. He jingles a lot.
He jingles a lot.
Jingles. Oh, hey, Ian. Actually, Ian as well has pledged himself to the Raven Queen. He has become the voice of the Raven Queen.
Hi. Yes.
Yeah, hi. Uh-huh. This is going on. Okay. Yep. Great.
So I pop my head in. I see him on the floor by your feet, and you're in a bathrobe, right?
Yeah, huh?
Okay, cool. I'm gonna just stare at the wall.
Presumably standing on a stool that Yajiro has produced. So,
And I'm below her. All you see is back of my head.
Great. I'm gonna pull an Mshala and just stare and talk to the wall while they talk to me.
Uh-huh. This is going on now. Hi, Ian.
How's it going, Ian?
You talk to the Raven Queen, too. Yep, okay. Are you almost done here, Yajiro?
I mean, as I said, I need to take the robe off.
No,
this is awful.
Are you done hemming or doing whatever it is that you're doing?
No. But if you would like, I can stand up.
So I feel like I'm needed. Did I miss something?
What I need at this moment in time, since now I'm entertaining two gentlemen in my bathrobe.
Clothes. Clothes, yep.
I would like to go there, and I'm gonna walk out of. If he's in my way, he's moved out of my way. I'm passing Yajiro. Going to my room, door slams, changing into clothing.
As she walks, obviously, the thread that I've got in my hand tugs open part of her robe because she didn't give me a chance to clip it off.
Just blinders.
In my room, slam the door.
So I'll clip the thread now.
Wait a minute, you didn't come with me, right? Or are you just clipping the
I'm on the
end
other side of
your
the
hand?
door. Clipping it.
Okay. Robe, go to my bed, throw the robe off the bed, get some underclothes, bedclothes.
Now my understanding is that we're now closed in your bathroom and you're in your bedroom with your door
Yep.
open.
No, I've closed the door to my bedroom. Presumably that should have been closed to begin with. I would have closed that. I'm changing my clothes and getting into something a little bit more appropriate than me naked standing in a bathroom.
How's it going, Ian? It's a pretty nice bathroom. Much nicer than my bathroom.
Yeah. Absolutely much nicer than the one I'm used to.
I can understand how she takes 5-hour baths.
Yeah,
This
me
is-
too.
This is nice.
Clothes on. Open the door. Okay.
Look at all the bubbles, too. Where'd she get the money for that?
As he says bubbles, I'm gonna scoop some down and blow them.
Door open.
I'm a kid. What do you want?
Okay, Yajiro, why would he be needed here now?
Well, I didn't call him, but as I said, he is now the voice of the Raven Queen. He is a follower, and he is blessed by her. And I'm sure that he could even attest to the fact that nothing bad or harmful will happen to you if you were to believe in her and become faithful. This is really in the best interest of the town.
I feel enlightened. I felt like I was needed here, but I'm not sure exactly why. I feel like it was important.
So the Raven Queen told you you know what?
I mean,
No,
he's got a
I
voice.
don't talk to her like
He's
he
got a
does.
voice like an angel. Maybe she just wanted him to give his words to you.
Once again, okay. Tell you what. Ian, you're great with words. Presumably the written word, since you have to write down any songs that come to your pretty little head. How about this, Yajiro? How about you have you and Ian write me a pamphlet, and I will come up with a decision for you tomorrow morning.
But
So, Milady says that the time for you is necessary, and blood will be spilled, as you're already aware. And you're going to want her aid. So, if the Raven Queen can already see the threat of fate, then why not just help the town now?
What's the downside? I'm not asking you, Yajiro. Ian, what's the downside?
I haven't found one, if there is.
There has to be a shoe. A shoe has to drop.
Well, I'm not a cobbler, so I don't know about shoes. But
Has the shoe ever dropped on Ash's faith? I don't believe so. I don't think faith is meant for a shoe to drop or for there to be a disadvantage in believing.
Whether I believe or not, though, I was raised on Tyr. I don't know all the ins and outs. I don't know I signed myself onto a mercenary company. Before I signed that contract, I read the whole contract. I read the fine print. I gotta read something. I want to know. I need to know. I mean, I don't want to expose. You know that I want to protect the whole town. I do. I really. I don't want any more bloodshed, if I can help it.
Milady, you're saying that you can see the thread on Lady Carowin's cousin?
something's about to happen. I'm getting a feeling that something great is about to happen.
Milady just feels that you will... What's the word? Regret if you don't think now is the time. And I'm not a parishioner, and I'm not one of Tyr's witnesses. I don't walk around from house to house handing out pamphlets. It's not really the way to get believers to believe. I don't want to hand you a written out text on why you should follow this person or that person, but you've noticed the larger amount of ravens in the area.
Yeah.
And I mean, when I'm speaking to somebody that's not in front of me, I would hope that you don't think I'm insane. Mind you, you might.
I mean, it has been a thought once or twice.
But she has also supplied us with information at times when she was able to. Information that was accurate and helpful.
You're always looking for a shoe to drop, but she's given us insight. Like, she warned us about the doors down below by the circle. She's given Yujiro information that we just didn't have. She's protecting the town. Like, she brought people back from the dead. I'm sure that eventually, many years from now, there might be a price, but right now I just don't see it.
She is active in our lives right now, while Tyr and Cross and all of them are real, I'm sure. They don't play that active role. That's not the way that they are for their faithful, but that is the way that she is.
I know this is important to you. This is the second time that you've come to me. Fine.
You won't regret it. And I believe that this is the best way to protect those that we love and our beloved town. I do just need blood, obviously.
Don't you have some on your little pens?
Well, there's kind of like a little ritual to it. So, Yadro unsheathes his sword and just kind of holds it out. If you were to lightly cut your hand on my blade,
I did it.
I will heal it after. No worries.
She'll look Yajiro in the eye and grasp the whole blade in her hand and squeeze.
Alright. So, I will lightly draw the blade back, just not even a quarter inch, and then remove it from your hand.
Oh, when I said squeeze, she squeezes it hard enough that she draws blood
Alright.
on her own fist.
So, I will grasp your hand with my other hand, kind of coaxing you to let go of the blade. I appreciate the enthusiasm. And as I withdraw the blade from your hand, I will heal your hand. And with the blood on my blade, the Raven Queen would just like you to voice that you are now one of the faithful, that you believe in her, and you wish for her protection.
I believe in the Raven Queen and would like her protection for myself and my people.
And that the House of Cadell will also now be the House of Ravens.
You know that I can't speak for everyone. There are two souls upstairs on this floor who sleep and cannot speak for themselves.
But they are not in charge right now, milady. You are. And this is for their protection as well.
You have been granted the title.
And House Cadell will be known as, what did you say, the House of Ravens?
Yes.
As you say that, your eyes shoot in the back of your head. You see her pupils just turn all black. She drops to a knee. You now see her, and you feel that your queen is giving her a vision. A moment.
Dun dun dun.
The anticipation is almost as bad as the anticipation of another character of mine suddenly being possessed and nobody's done anything about it.
Some of us aren't standing in your bathroom.
The hallway now.
I'm still in the bathroom.
Oh, you're doing this from the bathroom. I thought we were in my bedchamber, but okay.
Oh, actually, yeah, that's fair. I suppose I would have taken a few steps forward and gone into the bedroom.
The bathroom
That
is
is
better
the
of
traditional
distance.
place for you to get.
I can see it now. We're going to be in meetings later. And when did you find the Raven Queen? I was in my pajamas in my bathroom.
Or as they say in some locations, that's not a shit ass.
Yandra just showed up and pricked me. I don't know what happened.
He made sure it was consensual.
It took some coaxing. But no alcohol was involved.
Her eyes come back down. She's breathing
There was
heavy.
a bard here. There might have been alcohol.
From the window, as a breeze kind of comes into you guys. With that, 3 black feathers fall, not too far from each of you.
I'll pick up the one that falls in front of me.
Yeah, I'm gonna pick up the other one.
Scrubbing my face and my eyes and blinking several times. Belatedly, I notice there's a feather on the floor and kind of, because my mind is elsewhere now, absent-mindedly pick up the feather and kind of just stare at it.
Well, I believe that we're on the road to defending everyone here. And I think that's really what we want. We don't want to see any more people die. So, we'll do exactly what we can to prevent that. May I ask what you saw, milady?
The people but they were in and of themselves armed and armored, and that's the only part of this that there was more, but that's the biggest part of it that I question is how are we supposed to train up the townsfolk to be to have any sort of skill in regular arms and armor.
Why wouldn't we be able
soldiers,
to?
Well, with any skill. I mean, I don't want some plowboy to have a sword in his hands and think that he suddenly is, the greatest thing in the hero of Ellannis. I want him to have the skill to back up any boasts as youthful children will have.
Then give them simpler weapons. Spear, shield.
That was my
Teach them
thought.
to form lines.
Yeah, I don't think it's as difficult to make a fighter of a person as you think, milady, especially if they're fighting for something that they also love and believe in.
Like, you were in a mercenary group. You should probably learn how to fight in a group. You can train them. Thulsa can help.
I'm sure Thulsa is a wonderful teacher, as he was part of the reason why my brother learned how to fight as well as he can. And the other part of the reason was
leader.
My family. If my brother can learn it, anyone can learn it. If I didn't take a knock at my brother, what kind of brother would I be?
That's true.
Balin, you find your way into the room. You were just compelled to go there.
Well, I would probably walk over and lean against the doorway and just be like, "You show him your tattoo?"
You swore you were not gonna. Shh.
You're the one who has two guys in your room wearing your ratty-tatty bathrobe. They're gonna see.
It's over there now. It's on the
Pretty
bed.
sure I've seen every part of Lady Carolyn at this point. I have garbed her up numerous times. I've also walked into the bathroom on her numerous times. I always have something to talk about.
But have you seen the addition to the tattoo?
Oh.
Anyway, how's it going? What's going on? What are we talking about?
I'll just present the raven feather to Balin.
Neat.
We have a plus one.
Typical. Lady Carolyn here has become a follower of the Raven Queen as well.
Ain't that something? For once, you're doing something that I do, and I didn't have to coax you into it.
And there was no alcohol involved this time, Lady Balin.
What?
No, just Yujiro's little prick.
Oh, well, I guess it's not so little.
No, mind you, it is not little, and we weren't talking about that kind of prick. Thank you very much.
Sorry, I don't walk in on people's baths. I don't know.
Defensive.
I can't help myself. The door was unlocked. How was I to know?
I mean, okay, maybe I unlocked it for you, but that's beside the point.
There it is.
I'm never gonna change. Did you expect something different?
No. Please do not ever change. However,
Also, this prick is quite large. The pin that I hold up is like 4 inches. It's a long pin.
You know what, Yujiro? Let's just keep that a mystery between me and you. Like one of those things I'll never know about. Okay,
What are you
cool.
talking about? I'm so confused. Look at this thing.
I have. Carry on.
I have a lot to think about everyone else. Out. Out.
Well, the
Good
guys
night.
leave. I just go farther into her room and like sit on her bed.
All right, Ian, shall we grab a drink?
Yeah. And as we leave, I'm gonna go. Your sword seems different. It feels different to me somehow.
To whom?
To me.
No, you say that to whom?
Oh, Yanjiro.
Oh.
Yeah.
I was confused too. I was
Sorry.
talking about Lady Caroline's sword.
Well, we left. I figured you knew. Sorry.
You're in the
Talking about
bathroom.
swords and needles and pricks. Who knows what sharp things we'll talk about next?
Great question, Lee.
Now Lee's talking to him?
How does my sword feel different to you? Because
Still
Got
I
like
guess
an aura
for a
to it.
reason.
I can't explain. I'm sensing it's different. Can I look at it?
I'm gonna. No, Lee, no. I'm gonna draw my sword.
I'm gonna cast Identify.
There are new runes on the blade, and it's definitely it is changed from its properties to have a silver make in it, and it's definitely seems enchanted.
I tell you that.
You can just see it. I mean,
Okay.
Interesting. I wonder if somehow Lady Caroline's blood did this to the blade.
Either that or the followers increased, did it?
What say you, my lady? What have you done to my family's blade? I'm gonna resheath it. Well, let's get that drink, and I'm sure she'll answer me in time.
Okay.
Meanwhile,
Back in the bedroom.
ladies.
I just kind of lay on her bed like, so, welcome to the dark side.
Spread eagle.
No.
my, you.
That's my cousin. I say that to other people, not her. Good.
So, this is weird for me to go and start saying I was never. I mean, I may have been raised into it, but I was never religious. I don't know what I'm doing here, but I guess she gave me a vision, and I told
Yeah,
you part of it.
I
Well,
think she does that.
I guess she wants me to get the townsfolk armed and armored, which is not a bad idea. It's a great idea. I just worry about selling the idea.
Well,
Just-
I mean, just fit it in the way of protection. You're protecting Welshire. How do you do that? By getting armored.
Well, there's a few things I worry about. It's where are we going to get all this arms and armor, first of all? Even practice or training armor, or swords or whatever. But I worry that Simeon's going to have a fit about me arming the common folk.
I mean, it's not his town. Not his castle.
Not his, but it is his father's by extension.
Not currently, right now. I mean, come on. We've dealt with far worse relatives than this guy.
I mean, granted, and I mean, he's willing to help, and I get the feeling that he wants what's best for what's going on here. I also don't. I want to, and I want to do what needs to be done for everyone. But I also don't want anybody at the Capitol thinking that we're arming ourselves for rebellion or things of that nature.
So you don't say that. What you need to do, in all honesty, is you need to grow a set. You need to stand up, lead this town as the way that you're supposed to, and command that everybody takes you seriously. You question every move that you do. You question every idea possible. You need to be a leader. Lead. Trust in yourself.
It's easier on the battlefield.
Well, relay it to the battlefield. You're dealing with, warriors or whoever is trying to attack you. Well, people are attacking you with words. Make that work.
Words.
I have faith that you can take this town, protect it, and do what you need to do. But you need to believe in yourself that you can do that. Because otherwise, no one's going to take you seriously. I've seen you fight. I've seen you in the darkest of dark areas that no one should see. And you came out kind of okay.
Mark, check your messenger.
But you really need to put your foot down in yourself and stand up and believe in what you're saying. You think that you're going to protect the town? Protect the town.
Yeah, I have a lot to think about.
How's your hand?
Fine.
Well, he took care of you. He didn't even take care of me. He just whatever, and then walked away. Jerk.
Really? I mean, look, not even a scar.
He also willingly walks in on you in the bathroom, so I'm not surprised he didn't want to leave a scar.
Willingly with help.
Yeah.
Because I had that door pointing at the bedroom door closed and locked before I disrobed to go take a bath.
And somehow it came unlocked. These are old doors, old doorknobs. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm going to get going. You have a lot to think about. Think about what I said, though. Grow a set. And I say that lovingly.
I know. And I would expect no less.
Carry on. And I go back to my room.
I hold up the robe, which is how much shorter is my robe? With that thread that got pulled?
It's now a dinner jacket.
Well, no, that was new thread, so you're okay. It's still the same length.
Oh, okay.
Mind you, after I got a couple drinks with Ian, I'm going back to see Balin.
Okay. Hello.
He wants to know what she's got for a bathrobe.
I'm sure she doesn't wear a bathrobe. She doesn't seem like the type.
No.
So,
For the record, the new guy is out graystoking the graystoke.
So, Where is Balin? Where do I find her?
No Greystokes here.
I mean, I said I went back to my room after talking to Carolyn.
I'm gonna go knock on your door.
I get up and open it. Hello.
Hey, Balin.
I glance at you very quickly and be like, "Are you trashed?
Me? Trashed? No. Never.
Are you slightly inebriated?
Yes. Alright, I am slightly inebriated.
How can I help you?"
I just need one thing. I need you to get that hideous bathrobe from your cousin. Because I need to fix it. Because it's terrible.
Okay.
And I mean, I could go get it myself, but then she might think that I'm not after the bathrobe, and I am after the bathrobe.
Mark, can you give me Arcana roll,
Why?
please? Advantage.
Because I need to make it look not the way it does.
Ben, what did you say?
I was talking to Mark.
Oh. I mean, do you want it now? Do you want it tomorrow? Like,
Now would be fantastic.
alright, well, did she leave it in her bedroom? I wasn't paying attention to her.
Probably.
Alright. Alright, so I want to sneakily go over to Karen's room and try and sneak in
Okay.
to steal a bathroom.
Ben, I just sent you something. Carowin is sitting on her bed.
Okay.
The lights are still on.
Okay. I walk into the room and I still try to take your bathroom.
So are you sneaking or are you obvious?
Well, now that you say you're awake, I'm just gonna take it.
I'm saying, so you're gonna see her, but she's sitting on her bed and she's holding the feather and she's staring at it intently.
Well, then you're not paying attention to me.
Yeah, because as you look at the feather, your eyes are drawn to a raven at your window. Your window's pane was open, and
Dun dun dun.
you seem to be able to look at the raven, and as it stares back at you, you feel like you've made a choice now, a strong choice, but you feel like you've done it with the ability to truly lead. You do feel empowered. You feel like the town is going to start to defend itself. And you feel like you're a very integral part to it.
Okay.
Hey Ben, whenever I get a chance, I would obviously be going to try and figure things out from what you sent me.
It's late in the night. Would you do it in the evening or would you do it in the morning?
I would do it as soon as I felt it. Yeah,
Fair enough.
I wouldn't wait.
All right.
Everyone must visit her tonight.
Carowin, you have a very
Thank
busy...
you for that background, Ian. Oh, yep.
You have a
agreed.
very busy bedroom.
Apparently.
Well,
I-
I
You
mean,
will be visited by 3 ghosts tonight.
does the feeling lead me to the manor house?
As you go to the manor house,
Well, no. I mean, does the feeling lead me that I should go there?
you don't feel like you have to go there. You just feel that feeling.
That's what I mean.
I mean, that's why I'm saying if you want to do more discovery to it, that would be the only thing that's going to lead you to there. Nothing's compelling you to go there.
No, I mean I have to. It's no compulsion. I'm just asking where the feeling leads. So I would go there, and then as soon as I stepped in the foyer, I wouldn't go any further, and I would ask whichever servant is around, that I'm tell the servant that I'm here to see Carol.
As you do that, Starlock is there, pulling the same guy, going, I need to see Carolyn.
I look at him and I go, "You felt it too?"
No, I saw it happen. I
Okay.
think we may either be talking about the same thing or two different things. Basement.
He leaves.
Now,
That's not what I
your
was.
grace.
We'll do.
And I leave,
Okay.
unlike others.
So, servant going up to get her. Starlock is going down in the basement. What do you want to do? Wait here in the foyer?
If Starlock thinks it's the basement, I'm definitely going to the basement.
Okay, you go to the basement.
Do I see Starlock? Because I'm still just chilling out in the manor, waiting
No.
for Balin.
This is all downstairs. You guys are more upstairs.
Okay.
You get down there, and you will discover that there is another ring around the ritual circle.
Another ring?
With Elvish
What's
script.
Elvish script?
Yes, it's old Elven as opposed to the Drow that was the original symbols. I watched it form because I was studying the wheel and it formed in front of my eyes. It is some sort of counter to the wheel.
Mark, the script is abyssal. But what I told you is who wrote it.
I'm sorry, what?
The script is abyssal. All the runes. I just told you who wrote it. You discovered that in the time frame.
Right. Yeah. So it's abyssal runes carved by drow hands. And this new ring is written in Old Elf. Now, having that thought, can I examine it to see if it was written by elves or who wrote this Old Elven?
No one wrote it because you saw it form.
Okay, well, wasn't sure if there were some sort of handwriting tells or in the carving of it or other things, like the same way I discovered that it was carved by drow.
Yeah, give me let's do an investigation check. I'll give you the advantage.
I was going to say I'm going to help him to give him the advantage. I also cast light while we're down here so we can see.
Oh, it's illuminated, this place.
Advantage gives me 26.
The script is perfect. The absolute perfect penmanship. That's all you can
read
pretty much
Elvish?
detect.
No, but I have this book. There's not a large book, a travel-sized book, at least in medieval terms, that is open, and it has Elvish script in it. So the handwriting is utterly perfect, which I'm taking to mean is magical craft rather than handcraft. Okay.
Lady Carwin, one of your servants. My lady.
I literally just blew out my candle. What?
Your presence is requested in the basement with the investigator, and also the Allfather would like to speak with you as well. I told him it was a late hour, but they insisted.
I'm tired.
I will dismiss him.
No.
He said the basement, and I thought it might be a little bit more urgent.
He said that you should have led with that. Thank you.
Oh, sorry, my lady. I don't always put my words right in order. That's why you're the noble lady, and I'm just a servant.
You're fine. I will be there in 2 minutes. And literally, she does Flight of the Bumblebee, ripping off her bedclothes and putting herself in armor.
Okay.
Because she immediately thinks the worst.
As you're heading down, Yujiro and Balin will know that Lady Carwin has left her room and running downstairs.
So, Ben,
I will follow.
This is a new circle around the old circle, basically, right?
Correct.
They don't intersect at all?
No. Well, they connect in terms of whatever was on the outside has laced itself inside into the outer circle of the ritual.
So one has been written into the other, basically.
Correct. In not in the Abyssal script, it is in what you would term as Old Elf.
I would just look at it as some kind of Elven because I don't speak Elven at all. So somebody has put some other kind of circle of warding or protection here then.
You doubt it was somebody because this has been the most heavily guarded position in the entire town of Welshire.
It was somebody. I mean,
okay, just want to make sure the description is utterly clear.
Yeah, no. Does the door still seem to be intact that was left there?
Again, you're convinced that there's no clues that lead to anything that was disturbed. This is definitely something that disappeared.
I'm checking to see if the door is still there.
Yep. Okay. Everything's the same.
No.
The only thing that's different is the new circle. And Carolyn...
And I watched it. It happened in front of me. Hello.
Carolyn arrives.
As I mentioned,
Carolyn's wheel has changed.
armed. She is fully armed, and she has her sword drawn.
While sensible, not necessary. If you'd like, you could sheath that. Thank you. The wheel has changed.
So
here, look. See, I'm sure you've studied this a great deal. This will be new to you. These new carvings are not only brand new, they are in Old Elf, and they appear to be some sort of counter to the abyssal runes carved by the drow.
When you saw it happen, was it a magical writing, or did you see someone write it? I know the answer, just confirm it.
There was no one here with me that I could perceive while it was happening. There was no sound of craft, carving, or any other kind of working. The writing appeared. Did it appear all at once, or was it like watching it get written?
Watching it get written.
Is there, so it's carved into the wheel. The material that was carved out or is now missing, did that go anywhere? Did it just vanish, turn to smoke?
Nothing got removed of the original. It is just a bigger circle as it's rung around, like it is like encompassing the whole the ritual circle. A new ring has formed on the outer layer of it. It looks woven in on, so it makes sure it touches. It doesn't seem like it's disconnected. You feel it's connected in the inner part of this new ring. The outer ring touches the regular, normal basement of that. It is in Old English. So, you saw it get created. Nothing else of the original thing changed. The other blood still crusted. No other symbols had filled in. Nothing was removed. Everything looks exactly the same for the old part. It's just this completely silverish type of elven script that's just rung around it.
It's drawn on the ground, or is it carved?
Drawn and carved onto the ground, as much
so
like
what
the
Mark was asking is the material that was carved out of the floor. Did it disappear as he walked?
Yes.
Okay. Just to be safe.
So it was just magically transmuted.
Yes.
I'm casting See Invisible and looking around. I know the answer, but I've got to do it.
Okay.
There's no one here.
Correct.
And you're saying this is Elven script?
Yes.
I'm asking Mark because I don't actually.
Oh, sorry.
I don't have
Yes. So here, look in the book. You can actually see the book onto Elvish. You can see the similarities. They're not identical because this is not Old Elvish. This is more of a contemporary Elvish, but you can definitely see the similarities. This is, without a doubt, Elven.
You know what it says? I do not have that.
It would take me time because I don't speak Elvish, so I would have to try and translate it using the book as a guide, but also when a language is referred to as old rather than its contemporary, that means that there's a lot of linguistic changes that make it even more difficult to translate. So I could probably get a gist of it. The general purpose of it, however, seems to be a counter. It is countering what it encircles.
Yajiro and Balin arrive.
It can't connect to the
Catch me up.
Dread Realm.
What is going on here?
Starlock. It can't connect to the Dread Realm.
I don't know that. I don't know the way in which it counters it. Unless you have information that, newer information than I have.
It severs it from the Dread Realm? I don't know why I know, and I know this. I don't know why I know this. I just know this.
It severs what from the Dread Realm?
The link of the runes, I imagine.
I think so.
What was it you were trying to read earlier?
Who?
What? Who? Trying to read
We
what?
were talking about not being able to read something when we came down.
Milady, are you saying that you wrote the protective barrier?
So here, look, on the ground, there's a new ring. I'm sure you've studied, cased this ritual circle out. You can see a new element to it. That new element is Elven script, old Elven script, that just appeared. It was magically written, carved, placed in front of me while I watched.
So then
I happened to be here when it happened.
So then someone call him Shally. He reads Elven.
Okay.
The script is from Astral Elven tongue, and it disconnects the arcane link to the realm. The Raven Queen has written the script. She has gained enough power to break the link between the runes and the Dread Realm.
Okay.
For now.
For now.
That's all.
I'm saying that. She's not saying that. But
Contingent on next month's payment?
when it comes to magic, I never feel like there's a finality to it.
The other abyssal script that is in the vicinity, is that altered at all? Are those tunnels still present?
That tunnel's still present.
Yeah, I checked on the tunnel.
Or is there any Elven script associated with the tunnels?
Nope. Nothing else new. Just that circle.
So they could still be viable threats.
Correct.
Now, Tyros is pointy-eared, which means he can likely read Old Elven script. No?
Maybe.
Perhaps we should request his aid.
Yujiro, you read. I just gave you what that was exactly what the arcane link is. You have. I'm still giving you. I'm still giving you the eyes of the Runekeeper. So, it's not. It's not unknown to you. That exactly. I've just kind of briefed it down. That's exactly what the circle did.
They got rid of that power too?
Yes.
Yeah, they removed it. Okay, awesome. So, since I can read Abyssal, and also have an ability given to me by my Raven Queen, not DM. Yeah, that's what it says.
Lee, I saw your lips move, but couldn't hear a word.
I chuckled and said one is infinitely more evil.
Wow. Damn, dude.
You're fishing for inspiration too, huh?
Well, the plus side is, in 2024 rules, as long as you're human, you always have inspiration, so it doesn't really matter.
To be fair,
About that.
I am so proud of that.
Well, not always. Once a day.
Once a day. That's a lot. That's powerful.
Right, but once you use it, you don't have it again until the next day, so it's not like you always have it.
That's true. Can we stack them, Ben? Like...
Sometimes.
Sometimes. I like.
Yeah, what I was saying is I am so proud of that level of evil that I even recorded an episode wearing a Mid-Coast Nightmares t-shirt that had that particular evil entity's artwork on it the other day.
So, milady, the Dread Realm will desire its body back. What body are you talking about?
So at this point, we don't have to worry about it summoning any monsters?
At this very instance, no.
Ish.
I'm concerned about this desire for a body back.
Hang on one moment while I wiggle my fingers a bit, giving
Is that
warning.
Is that sanctioned wiggly fingers?
It will be. So I'm going to cast Comprehend Languages now that I've given appropriate warning that something is going to happen.
Okay.
Can I confirm the meaning of the Elvish script?
You also know it is an astral elven tongue. It is definitely disconnecting this ritual circle from the Dread Realm. Like it is, you get the, as a mage, you understand the intricacies of like gate locking. So it is basically locked itself to its own planar realm of its own right now, and removed it from basically the outer part of that circle, so it does not connect in truth to Welshire. It's like in its own plane of existence right now.
Okay.
You also know that is powerful magic that just appeared in front of you to be able to be done that.
Oh, yeah, definitely. There are only a couple of things that I would expect to be able to do that. Old elves and other extraplanar beings.
God.
Do I gain any insight into the abyssal runes in the wheel while the spell is up?
Give me an insight check.
$27.
God damn, you are indeed the investigator. Yeah, this was definitely Drow hand. This was definitely a powerful Drow matron who did this. So this is definitely linked to Loth. And it is definitely linked to something more planetary. Like, it is more than just the realm of Ellannis, and of course greater than Welshire. Like, this was intent to do something with the Dreadlord. Like, the Dreadlord, Azarian, is an iconic key piece in a lot of the pieces, but you're not able to get a lot of the other deciphering from that.
Right, but I don't believe that great Drow matrons are particularly enamored of the Dreadlord. I think this would have been more...
Give me another insight. Give me an investigation check. I'm going to give you an advantage because of your high roll over 25.
So that was a natural 20.
Okay. So
27.
Awesome, the natural 20. You think that the devious of the scripters of this, which in your belief is a matron mother, that this is only one face of the ritual that you're looking at. There's probably one underneath it.
There's another wheel that's on the back side of this?
You think so?
And nobody's been able to actually, like, dislodge this thing to get at that wheel because it drives them mad or whatever.
Anyone who's touched it has been in pain, and there's a dead body on it too. So.
Okay, so sticking a pin in that for the moment. I want to go over to the tunnels and see if I can gain any insight into what is written on the walls of the tunnel. While this is up and running.
It is in all essence a math equation of it can make the tunnels look like whatever it wants.
Okay.
So it is basically, you're realizing it is phantasmal force energy fabricating into a bit of its own reality depending on as you walk through it.
So basically confirming what I had guessed at it being. So that works. Alright. How to deal with... Well, maybe we don't. So, I'm going to say some unpopular things, which is what I get paid for and what I do best. The good news is the Elven script locks out the power of the wheel, just as it was already spoken. It's established magical principles of cutting planar travel, and blocking planar travel is well known and well documented. And this ring is preventing planar travel in that sense. Further looking at it and getting some better insight on what's going on with it, there is more to it. This is tip of the iceberg, as it were. There's more to it underneath in the ground that we can't see. So we're not going to do anything about that. Because attempting to dig it up and disturb the earth to get the wheel up to see what's on the other side is extremely likely to break the planar lock on it. Right now, it is locked down. It is secured. Are there things about it that we don't know? Yes. Are there other elements to it that we don't know about? Yes. Are they grand burning questions that everybody that even remotely ever got sworn at and called an adventurer wants to know about? Yes. If any adventurer decides that they're going to do anything about it, they're going to break the fucking seal on it and undo what apparently your hot new goddess did for you. So, she locked it up. Leave it the fuck alone. Okay?
Then the floors are stone, right?
Yes.
Alright. So it's not like we pull up boards anyway, so.
Correct. And the Raven Queen puts it in a way that I am unfamiliar with. She says that you're on the trail of spiders and their intentions. Spiders, is this due to, what did you mention, drow?
Yes. So, political machinations that are complex enough to involve centuries to come to fruition. Webs and wheels within wheels and webs and further things. This is a matron mother of a tremendously great drow house making a power play or some sort of intrigue against the Dreadlord. This is only an aspect of it. If you think about gaming dice and the fact that you can't see all sides of the gaming die at once, there's always a face of it that is away from you or lying on the table. That is a good way to think about drow plots. We're only seeing one facet of the plot. There is a lot more going on that is on the other side of the die or otherwise concealed from us. In this case, on the other side of the wheel, but I'm concerned that attempting to get around to the other side of the wheel to see what it is might trigger it because it will be gazed upon, might disrupt the earth enough to break the seal that has been placed around it, the old oven seal that's been placed around it. there's a wide variety of things here. Security on spellbooks. So, as a related tangent, security on spellbooks is meant to keep the uninitiated, the unaware, the unauthorized out of them. Now, of course, like any other spell, a security spell can be picked apart. But as you're working on it, when you go to remove one piece, you can trigger another piece. As you cut one wire trying to disarm a booby trap, that wire might activate a deadfall. Right now, we've got what we want. Messing with it more right now could, in fact, set more stuff off. So we need to be really careful about how we proceed with dealing with this.
Ian has somehow attracted Thulsa, Tyros, and Shali with him to the basement.
Hey, welcome to the basement. Here is your briefing in the form of, I'm going to tell you what I told everybody else, and now the briefing is over. Ta-da!
You're coming.
Okay. Could we rewrite the words?
Why would we want to rewrite the words? They're sealing the circle.
Well, first, which words and how?
I don't know that. I just had a feeling that words can be rewritten. And wouldn't that change the meanings?
Yes. And that could negate things. I'm sure that as a bard, when hanging around with other wordsmiths, you've played a game where you have changed one word or one letter in the title of a song to change its meaning completely, or to even reverse its meaning. It'd be that easy and that catastrophic. So if we could examine the words, and another thing is, if you have a portrait and it's painted by an artist better than you, then when you go to alter it, you're not going to improve it because you're not as good as the original artist. That's another challenge that we face here. This appears to actually, because I've mentioned the matron of the Drow house, this doesn't appear to be commissioned by her. This appears to be done by her, which is an indication of its power. So again, we would have to be more crafty and better craftsmen, magically and intrigue-wise, than a Drow boss that has probably been in power for a couple of centuries against constant assassination attempts.
Starlock,
Mm-hmm.
the
Yes.
information that I was given before we were interrupted was that my parents were being taken to Ashen City and that the Drow were involved. So if the Drow or their patron made this and harmed Lady Carolyn's parents and kidnapped my parents, that must all be connected. That cannot be a coincidence.
And I apologize for interrupting them, Shally. And Mr. Starlock, I understand everything you said, and I don't disagree. But I will put out the voice of questioning here, in the sense that what you're saying is, don't touch it. Don't screw things up. I get that. But that means, effectively, we've got to stop trying to save Lord and Lady Cadell.
So it is an excellent question, and I thank you for being forthright enough to come right out and ask it. It just occurred to me as Mshali was speaking, that it may be that with the wheel cut off or its inability to draw more monsters to it, it may be that her parents might be released from it, or maybe in a position where we could attempt to release them from it now. If its active operation was keeping them in that slumber, with it cut off, they may be rousable. We'll have to investigate that as well.
We should do that right now.
Colored.
Yes, I agree with doing it right now. And what was the other comment?
I was asking the dungeon master, was the field colored? Did it have a visible field effect?
The field?
I seem to recall red, but
it's very light. I mean, it's like distorted light thing, but it's not a real like bubbly shield, like a force field.
I thought we could really only see it with detect magic.
Yeah,
and the runes and stuff.
Right. It's kind of like a predator type of thing.
We knew not to walk into it, or couldn't walk into it, or something like that when it first happened. But we knew that it goes up through the floor and is going up around the noble's
you know you couldn't remove. You knew you couldn't remove the Cadels from that bubblish aura thing, but it is not discernibly like a force field. Like you don't see something tube right into them. It's something you guys had to discover because there's runes on their bed. Same abyssal runes.
Right, but and we knew that kind of was like in a shaft going straight up from this. Is that field? Does that effect that we could see before still there?
I'll say with people detect magic and stuff like that, it's still in effect.
Cool. Yeah, so I mean, I understand everything you're saying, and don't mess with it because it could make things worse. But we're basically saying we can't rescue the Cadels at this point.
No, it changes what we can do, and we need to investigate that those possibilities again.
But not by messing with this here or anything here. Leave this alone.
Right, because if we mess with the old elven runes, even by accident, we could break this lock that has been put on it and this pause or stop that has been put on it.
Have you tried crossing it?
Have I tried crossing it?
Right.
No.
Well, we know that when we tried to reach across the first ring, it was like end of the world painful.
And that's why I haven't.
Okay.
If
I'll do
if
it.
you would like to see if that effect is gone, we could investigate that. I have no interest in sticking my hand in the blast furnace.
No, I was talking about the new ring. Like, does anything happen if your hand crosses over the new ring?
The new ring is interwoven with the old ring.
I don't know. I honestly don't know. Is anything in the text of the new Elvish runes suggest that reaching into it, over it, around it, toward the abyssal runes, not going to result in pain?
You're actually, now that the question's sort of been risen, you are really surprised that, like, this isn't something that could be disturbed. Like, it is definitely so well crafted, highly made of the magic that you, as you saw it form, that its sole purpose is against the actual ritual itself. Like, you know, like, other things could be disturbed, like, defacing it, remarking it. Like, you just realize, like, there's not a chance that anything mortal can mess with this without a very powerful spell that would alter this. You're talking somewhere around, like, 7th level power range, having that ability to alter this sigils, this new circle. Like, it is potent protection.
I will convey that to everyone as best I can. No, this is pretty significant stuff. This is well beyond my ability to do anything with. I don't think that I could disrupt this if I tried.
As you contemplate that, a raven finds its way down the basement. It lands 2 feet away from Yujiro. Yujiro, the symbol that you saw in the circle, the ravenous, that image appears on the back of your hand in red light. And that's where we'll end tonight's session.
Dun dun dun.
All right, Jiro.
On the back of my left hand or my right hand?
Your left hand.
The sinister one.
Okay, that's not my dominant hand.
Not your dominant hand.
Okay.
So I'll just say that confirmation bias is in fact a thing, so I'm not surprised at all.
All right, so we got November. I think we have a date for another group that I chose.
Yeah, I'm out for November. I don't think I have I'm like.
Okay, you have
November's
guard. You have guard duty in the circle then.
Yeah.
Think of it like an FTX down in the basement. It's got the right ambiance.
Yeah.
I mean,
we
he's
won't let you
gonna
die.
pull a
Stand
copper
two back at
down
the
there.
bivouac site.
Yeah. What did we choose? What did we choose? We chose the 17th on another game, Lee. Or the 24th?
Hang on. No, we chose.
10th, maybe. I don't know. So bad.
I don't even have that one in here. I don't think anybody shared it with me.
Hang on a second.
If we do
I
the
know it's not the 10th because I'm out of state on the 10th.
Okay. Let me see, because I know
if we do the 10th, I won't have an early bedtime.
the 10th is good for you.
10th is very good for me.
Yeah, and November is bad for me no matter what. So I think we chose the 24th.
24th,
then.
yeah.
I think, yeah.
Okay.
We did that night.
Well, apparently the 10th is good for Mark, so we're gonna do the 10th for.
I'd like to avoid the 10th if possible.
Oh, why? For you?
Because we're playing that afternoon too.
Oh, we are.
Yeah.
Shit.
That makes it really hard.
That's true. So we'll do 17th then.
Okay.
17th should work.
You're gonna do the 17th and the 18th, Ben?
Yeah.
Okay.
Ben's crazy like that.
Yeah.
Well, this
he's got
yeah,
that
this one's
bad.
going on. The other one will be wrapping up, so this will get things easier. And Solstrom is session 0, so that's not really hard. Session 0.
What's on the 18th?
7 o'clock still?
Solstrom.
Oh,
Yeah.
Session
Session 0.
Okay.
We gotta get. I gotta push. Thank you to Tyler. Fucking set me up.
Yeah.
All right, so we will see everybody again, and we will resolve what has now happened. Now that we have all started to love the Raven Queen,
Not all of us.
most of the party. So
Now that most of us have started to love
Jeremy
the
is the badass, most religion player of all time that I've ever played in my time because he's converted so many people. It's awesome.
Because they fold like cheap tents.
What are you talking about? I gotta talk up a good game.
Oregon. Oregon.
We will see you guys then. Thank you very much.
And if you're
All
in
it took
Dayton,
was,
Ohio,
oh
if you're
god,
in
fine,
Dayton, Ohio,
okay.
the weekend of the 10th, I can't, I'll be there.